Hey guys, it's me, Jimmy, and welcome to a series I'm going to call Sign Me Up! Okay, so in this series, what we're going to do is we're going to take signs out of video games or cartoons, and we're going to try and replicate them, and in some cases, probably on a much smaller scale. In this episode, we're going to do the big Shots Espresso sign from Fortnite. Now, I chose this sign for a couple of reasons. One, I thought it looked cool. Two, I thought it looked really easy. And C, I don't know if you know this, but I like coffee. I'm sorry you had to see that. Let's just get started, shall we? Alright guys, let's go over ultimately everything I used for this project. First and foremost, you're going to want these brass thumbtacks. Buy 2 packs, this is a 40 count, and it cost me 88 cents. I didn't buy 2, so I didn't really have enough. Okay, then for the colors, I tried to use both the light and dark green with this kind of mid-tone green to mix with the black and whatever, but it didn't work. So Christmas tree green is what I used, oxide brown, and then just white. And then, of course, I had this tub of black, so I didn't have to buy this, but I did have to buy a lighter green later on for the outline in the sign. Lastly is this little chunk of plywood. Now, I have this, so if you don't, I can't imagine a remnant piece costing you too much. But this one's 7 inches high by 27.5 inches long. And I took a little bit off later on when I realized that the sign tapered toward the bottom. I cut it at a 5-degree angle and kind of wish I took a little bit more off. But you know what? I just figured you could take more off, can't put more on, and then just left well enough alone. So, whatever. Okay, so I did lie to you. There actually was more that I did buy. But these last couple things aren't really a big deal. You have to get a 1x2 furring strip to make the frame of the sign, and then also some picture hangers. So if you want to hang it on the wall, you have the ability to do so. And don't worry, they're both only a couple of dollars. And I mean, I guess I did have the remnant piece of plywood in my garage, but this entire sign build only cost me between like $8 and $10. Okay, so as I start painting this frame oxide brown, making sure that I get all of the face, the inner edge, and the outer edge, and be sure to do 2 coats. As you guys probably realize, there's a step that I didn't do in front of the camera, which is cut this furring strip down and attach it together. Which, that reminds me, I'm sorry guys, you're also going to need wood glue or some screws or finishing nails or something to attach the frame together. But if you use screws, be sure to drill some pilot holes or you're going to split the wood. Anyway, I can't remember the overall dimensions because I ended up trimming down the sign itself. Make sure that the sign overlaps the frame by a 1/4 inch on all sides. You can attach it just like that as is, because once you put it on the wall, you're not going to see it. But I went a little bit farther because I'm a psycho like that. It's what I do. But I took the router and I routed out at a depth of 1/2 inch down in a 1/4 inch so that the sign actually sets into the frame nice and flush. Again, you don't have to do that. That is another extra step. And my router blade obviously was very dull because it took a chunk out of the one corner, but it's not super noticeable, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, actually, not really. I'm a bit of a perfectionist and it's eating me to this very day. But I'm gonna say I'm okay with it. So once you finish the second coat, your frame should look nice and brown, like this. Just ignore my weird exotic hand dance. I was really tired. Alright, so next we're going to take this plywood plank, which is essentially the sign. And we're going to take the Christmas tree green, and we're going to mix some black in there because the green is just way too light for my liking. And I'm going to quickly slop down 2 coats on the board. Now, I'm actually kind of at a battle if I thought the sign was brown or green. Some pictures I found, it looked kind of brown, and in others it looked kind of green. But I decided to go green so that the whole thing wasn't just some giant brown brick. But yeah, so I don't know, I guess interpret the sign however you want, but this is what I went with, and I really like it. Alright, so when you're done with that, go ahead and seat the green plank into the brown frame, and then cover it with masking tape. Or at least this is my process. You guys probably have maybe like your own ways of doing things, and that's fine. But you know what? This is what I'm doing, okay? This is what I'm doing. And thanks to Colton, whom I met on the Fortnite Epic group on Facebook, he went and got me a screenshot of the actual sign from the game. So I'm going to use that as reference. Why are my birds being so loud? They know I'm recording. Alright, so here I'm putting down a solid line for me to trace with my X-Acto knife using a purple ink pen, and let me just tell you that was a huge mistake! Don't do that. Maybe try like a Sharpie marker or something like that, because as soon as my acrylic paint hit some of the remnant purple ink pen, it reactivated and kind of bled into the paint. I managed to take care of it, but it was a huge hassle. So just don't use an ink pen. Try a Sharpie. Not to say that that's going to work, but I think so. Oh, let me know. Let me know. If you do this and you use a Sharpie marker and it works, let me know in the comments. I think it'll work. But, I mean, I guess I also thought the purple pen would work, so that's not saying much. You know what? Don't listen to me. All right, so once you've laid down your solid line, go ahead and be very careful, but use your X-Acto knife to trace your lettering and the stars. And when you pull the tape up, make sure the letters stay on the board. The only parts of the letters that should come off are the inner parts of both of the O's and the inner parts of the B. And of course, that little like section of the G and that, well, you guys get what I'm trying to say. When you're done peeling up the tape, though, make sure everything else is firmly pressed down, so when you put the white on there, it doesn't go up underneath the tape. So if you guys learned from my mistakes, you should only have to do 2 good coats of the white paint before you peel up the lettering. But I had to do more than that to combat the purple situation I kind of put myself in. Anyway, when you're done with the second coat of paint, let it dry and remove all the remaining masking tape. Once you pull the masking tape up, you should be left with something that looks like this. Or I guess actually your guys' will probably look way better than this, but this nonetheless. Okay, hey, don't judge me. Anyway. Okay, this next step I thought was going to be the absolute easiest step of the whole sign build, and I was way wrong. Way wrong. I figured, hey, soft pine, sharp tacks, put these suckers in, good to go. No, complete opposite. Don't even waste your time trying to space them out. You'll be fine. Trust me, just wing it. Put them in the middle of the green border that's halfway between the white of the sign and the brown of the frame. I ultimately, after trying to brute strength it with my thumb, I went about 10 tacks in. My thumbs were already getting super sore, and the tacks weren't even going all the way down. I had to stop recording, get a hammer, and beat the crap out of these things. Yeah, so maybe I broke like a whole bunch of tacks, and I had to space them out a little bit farther than what I wanted to, and maybe I dinged up the frame and the sign a little bit and had to do like a whole lot of touch-ups, but like, hey, you know, it looks fine. That's right. Keep telling yourself that. Alright, so once you're done beating the crap out of your sign with a hammer, which by the way is both very frustrating and also at this point in the sign build, very therapeutic, your sign should look a little bit like this. Now, using the hammer, it's really hard to line up the text just right, and some of them actually got pushed over a little out of alignment for my liking, but I fixed that later on, and I broke so many stupid tacks with the hammer that some of these tack heads are actually just glued on. But it doesn't matter. It looks fine. Seriously, it looks fine. We're just going to go ahead and go and do the green outline. I guess on the sign, maybe this is supposed to be like neon light or whatever, but this is just a neon green color, which I don't have the paint around me right now, so I don't really know what color it is. But you know what? Again, use your judgment. You guys will be fine. Make the sign color-wise the way it looks right to you. And voila! Big Shots Espresso. It turned out pretty good. I mean, it's not without its flaws, but it's not bad. Anyway, I'm going to add the sawtooth picture hangers to the back of this bad boy and hang it up on my big old blank wall over there and get that kind of in the process of being covered, because I hate blank walls. Hate them. Anyway, help me fill up my wall and help me make more videos by giving me ideas for future signs. They can be from a video game, a comic, a cartoon, a movie, whatever. You can send me your ideas at my email address, which should be in the description. Yes, I was going to say comments. It'll be in the description below. If you guys want to see more videos, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications when I post them. And you know what? I'm going to try and see if I can figure out an easier sign for the next video. I should have started with Bob's Burgers. I actually made that one before, and I don't think it gets any easier than Bob's Burgers. So I don't know. Keep a lookout for that. That might be my next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had a fun time, even though I kind of lost a little bit of my soul with this one. But you know what? It's a good start. See you guys later. Look how pathetic this wall looks. Come on, guys. Comment your sign ideas down below in the comments or email them to me, and we can fill this wall up together. Let's do this.